Okay, I have a question for men. Why don't you guys approach us in public?
Well, off the top of my head, I can come up with a couple of really big reasons why. But before I do, could you tell me a little bit more about the points that you're trying to make?
It's so frustrating. Like, I just went to Lowe's and I was walking around grabbing some supplies for my move, and I made eye contact with like three different guys. I was smiling, I was just like doing my thing, and nobody came up to me. They almost seemed like annoyed that I was looking at them.
Now, you might think I'm going to do something to pick on this young lady, but I actually genuinely feel sorry for her because she doesn't get it. She doesn't understand that men are indeed done and want nothing to do with women, even women as attractive as her. And no, it's not because we're intimidated or scared, ladies. I know that makes you feel good to think that way, but the reality is much different. Now, there's a multitude of reasons for that, but as I said, there's two really big ones that we need to discuss. As I've mentioned many times before, men have been listening to women tell them to go away and leave them alone for decades now. And men are doing exactly that, which is one of the biggest reasons why they're not approaching you. The other one being, if they take that risk in approaching you, they're taking on a risk of potentially being called names, laughed at, or mocked and ridiculed, which to be fair has always existed. But now we have the added risk of being falsely accused of harassment or some other crime. I mean, let's be honest, false allegations have ballooned to epic proportions.
It's just such a weird world we're in. I guess everyone uses online dating apps, but if you guys would just like approach a girl, I'm telling you, 99% of women would love it.
While you may think that's true, reality is a little bit different because there's an awful lot of women out there posting videos saying,
"Leave women alone. They don't want you."
So as you can see, we've got one woman saying, "Please approach us," and another saying, "No, we don't want you." Well, which is it, ladies? Because you see, as men, we don't know which camp you fall into, and we can never know. And the truth of the matter is, the sole determining factor for a woman on whether she wants to be approached or not is how hot she finds the guy, which again, we can never know.
All you have to say is like, you know, "Oh, I love your shoes."
Which is just as likely to result in him being called a creep as it does for her to say, "Well, thank you."
You know, "Do you need help with this?"
Which some women may appreciate, but there's also a large group out there that would attack the man, telling him, "I don't need no help. I can do it myself, you misogynist."
You'll be able to tell right away if she's like vibing with you, or if she's into you, or if she's not interested and has a boyfriend. Like, she'll probably just like be a little bit more shy and walk away or something. Like,
now, I'll be honest, there are a few women, perhaps even yourself, who might be shy and walk away or say I have a boyfriend. But again, there's that other group, the ones that would take that opportunity to berate the man as much as possible in public, to do everything they can to humiliate them, to cause a scene, and that omnipresent option that more and more women are choosing of believing she's being harassed and filing charges based on it. As I've said before, and I'll say again, the risk isn't worth the reward. The reality is, the risk to a man that he'll be facing criminal charges is a lot higher than most women want to admit. But even if it's only that 1 or 2% that so many women state it is, that's still a big risk. Because if that man happens to be in that 1%, his life is going to be utterly destroyed. That's the reality for men, and that's why they're choosing to walk away. So I feel sorry for this girl. I genuinely do. Because while she may want to find a man, want to have that happy, healthy relationship, the realities of the world these days are going to make it very difficult for her or any woman to do so.